Hey, it's barbecue season, and I just got two separate calls, asking if they can put their barbecue up against an insulated concrete form house. Now, in almost 30 years, I've never had that question before, so I couldn't answer too quick. Unlike some people on social media that just shoot answers out like they're authorities of some type, but they can't back them up. I actually have to back up what I say, and I couldn't give an answer too quick because I didn't know. So I started doing some looking around and trying to find out some stuff, and I found this from the National Fire Prevention Agency. 10,600 home fires are started by grills each year on average. I guess that's not surprising. You know, it's kind of fun lighting your grill with the lid closed and things like that. July is the peak month for grill fires, followed by June, May, and August, which are basically the months in Canada wherein you're allowed to grill. Down in the States, you guys can grill year-round, but those are the peak months. 64% of U.S. households own at least one outdoor barbecue grill or smoker. Well, that makes sense, right? So then I started looking at some other things here. I went to ownthegrill.com and found that the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission has guidelines stating that you should place your grill no closer than 10 feet away from any house walls or siding. 10 feet away. You would have to put your shoes on to go grill. That's conservative. The consensus among grill manufacturers is at least 3 foot. Even 3 foot. How many of us place our grills 3 feet away from our home? Okay, so let's go to grillbabygrill.com. Again, 10 foot away from any structure. And then they go down to 3 foot from house is more or less conservative. Beginnergrilling.com, 3 foot away from house, 10 feet from any objects or structures that are flammable. So what's flammable? How about your wood fence? How many of you had your grill up against a wood fence? Whatever. Backyardboss.net. Again, 10 feet away. My goodness, that is just being a little bit on the safe side. Takes all the fun out of it. Weber. I went to some of the brand names, and Weber barbecue, 24-inch. It's a little bit better than 3 foot, but still, 2 foot away is safe. Okay, that makes sense. A little bit better lawyer you got there. Now let's go to Napoleon. Napoleon makes a really nice built-in barbecue. And what do you think of built-in barbecue? Designed for built-in. You would think, okay, they designed it to be built-in. That means it goes up against the house, right? Not really. 27 inches from the back is the minimum for built-in. I was kind of surprised. So I started looking at built-ins, and wouldn't you know it, a lot of the photos will show a built-in, and they actually have a planter or garden or shelf or something behind the grill to space it. So they're actually getting that spacing. I didn't see that before. I always just assumed. Never assume, I guess. Other Napoleon grills can be as close as 20 inch to any structure. 20 inch is pretty good. Still surprising. Oh, and 24 inch for vinyl siding. Now I have experience with this because my vinyl siding in my old house actually did things it wasn't supposed to do when I had my grill too close, and I had to replace the siding. So now what can we do with an ICF? Well, an ICF is a fireproof wall because it's concrete. So that's good. But they use expanded polystyrene as their insulation, and expanded polystyrene will shrink with high heat. So what temperature can we get to? So if you look around the 165 to 175 Fahrenheit, you're going to see shrinkage happen when you get to that temperature. And you don't want that. You just don't want that, because then you start losing your thermal performance with the wall. So what I did is I built a wall. I'll just start this up here. I took some block I had in my backyard. It was old block, dirty block, but I built a little bit of a wall, put some cement board up against the back of it, or on the face of it, and then I put my barbecue up against it. I opened the lid and put about 1.5 inches between the lid and the cement board. That put the exhaust at about 6 inches away from the face. Now, air temperature was about 54 Fahrenheit, 12 degrees Celsius. That was air temperature at 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning when I started. This is only a 2-burner grill. Small one for me and my wife. My kids are out of the house already. And I only got that up to 415 degrees Fahrenheit or 212 degrees Celsius. That's after 40 minutes of full high heat. The surface temperature of the cement board, that got up to 195 degrees Fahrenheit or 90 degrees Celsius. Now, what did the back get up to? I actually extended that cement board past the EPS a bit just so I could get a measurement. And it got up to 139 degrees Fahrenheit or 60 degrees Celsius. That's on the backside. So that's tolerable. Doesn't seem too bad, but that's only a 2-burner. Not many people will have that. So I got out my big man. This is my Alfonso, I call it. It's 5-burner. I could get a lot more heat out of it. And I ran this. I didn't have any time between, really. I just moved one barbecue away, put this one up against, and ran it at full high. And the surface temperature of the cement board on this, I just looked for the hottest point I could find, and that was 272 degrees Fahrenheit, 133 degrees Celsius. That's an hour and 35 minutes into the test. On the backside, I could actually put my hand up against the cement board, but I couldn't hold it there. It was too hot for that. So now what temperature? I again looked for the highest point, and it was 171 Fahrenheit, 77 Celsius. That is in the risk zone. So that's after an hour and a half of full high. So now I turn the burners off, and I pull that away, and I then take the cement board off, and we'll see if there's any deformation on that expanded polystyrene. You can see I went an hour and 35 minutes. That cement board was 7/16. I just put some deck screws into it. And it's for wet and dry areas, and it can be used indoor or outdoor. There's no wood or gypsum in it, so you could actually use this anywhere on the outside of your house. Seemed pretty good, 7/16 inch thick. So now you can see the dirt on the things that on the block that was there before. And you can see that I did get a little bit of deformation. It shrunk back a little bit, about 3/16 actually, if I measured it. And that's just a little bit, but it's enough to cause concern. If you did that enough times, you may get a thermal break there where the temperature, the outdoor temperature would actually reach the concrete, and that's what you don't want. I'm not as concerned about fire, but I am concerned about that shrinkage. So that's what happens, and surprisingly up at the top, that was exposed. The cement board did not go that high, and you could see it took the surface off, but it did not do much damage at all. So really all we can do is say, follow the barbecue manufacturer's recommendations. If I had an airspace behind that, may have done a better result. It may have helped it out. I don't know that you need 2 layers, but that airspace behind may have made a big difference. And I was only 6 inches away. If you moved it a foot away, that's probably going to be better. But we have no proof, no testing on that. I just did this just to make us aware of what happens with an insulated concrete form if you put your barbecue right up against and just let it rip. You don't want to do that. So you have to use a little bit of common sense here and build it properly, and I hope this helps. Just put this in just to get us aware. So hope this helps, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you.